In this video, I'm going to talk about the two most powerful times of the day that you can begin to reprogram your subconscious mind. Hello, my name is Abby, and thank you so much for watching this video. Now let's get started. So let's talk a little bit about what the subconscious mind is and why it should matter to you. So every day we think between 60 to 70,000 thoughts. Every single time that we think a thought, our body actually produces a chemical so that our body knows what we're thinking. So the language, Dr. Joe Dispenza talked about this, that the language of the body, the language of the mind is thoughts, and the language of the body is feelings. So if you start to think a thought of, oh man, I hope that doesn't go wrong, or oh man, I hope my friend really likes this gift. Well, that's an anxious feeling, a fearful feeling. Your body will actually produce a chemical producing the feeling of anxiety, of anxiousness, of fear. And when your brain takes inventory of how your body's feeling, it notices, oh man, I feel anxious. I'm gonna think some more anxious thoughts. I feel more anxious, and it gets in this loop. Now, by contrast, if you happen to be thinking a really happy thought, a really joyful thought, grateful thought, any of that, it's gonna produce a chemical that's going to help you feel that in your body. Now, why is that important? Because what is it in those 60 to 70,000 thoughts? What is automatic playing that you don't even know about? By the time you're 35 years old, 90% of your activity that you go day to day with is actually programmed and totally automatic. So I used to be under the illusion that the subconscious mind was actually under your conscious mind, and kind of like if you think you're gonna water the grass, you water the grass and it's going to seep down and it's going to get into the soil. So if there's ideas and thoughts and information that's getting in your conscious brain, that eventually it'll seep down and get into your subconscious. That's absolutely wrong. It doesn't at all work that way. They're two different brains. They're two different mechanisms. The subconscious is all about feelings. It doesn't understand thoughts. You can sit there and talk to it all day and it does not understand what you're saying. So Bruce Lipton gives the idea of when you're trying to talk to your subconscious, it's like trying to talk to a record player. You put the record on it, you push play, and now you're telling the record player to get the record off of the player and change it. The record player only knows to change the record that you put in the record player, just the same as you programmed your subconscious and now you have to unprogram it. You have to change it. And where do these programs come from? From the last trimester that you were in your mom and until you're about 7 or 8 years old, roughly in that time frame of your young life, that is when you received the majority of the programming that you are living off right now. Now, unless you've really done a lot of introspective work, a lot of deep diving into who you are running off the programs that you founded and you programmed at that age. And I know you find this hard to believe, but if you think about it, when you were younger, if you heard somebody talking bad about money, if you heard your parents and authority figures say, man, everybody who has money is a bad person, or they're greedy, or it's selfish to have all the money, you'll actually form a thought or an opinion or a belief about having a lot of money. Now you look to your current life and you might not have the situation that you actually desire. And most likely, if you look to your youth and to when you were younger, you're gonna start finding that there is a lot of beliefs that you don't even realize you have. And how it happens is you've got your subconscious belief that produces the thoughts, and we talked about that earlier, 60 to 70,000. That's gonna dictate your behavior, which is gonna create actions, which is gonna create habits. So that's all locked in. So how in the world do you change these things? How can you start to change your subconscious, change that record that's automatically playing? The great thing about the subconscious is once you program it in the program that you want, towards the direction you want to go, it will take you there. It's basically a GPS. So you've got to make sure the coordinates is where you actually want to go, or you're on the ride and you might be miserably going to a destination that you don't want to go to. So there's 3 specific ways that you can change your subconscious. The first one is repetition, right? You learn and you learn and you learn. That's one way. It's a lot slower, but that is an effective way. Another way, which I don't recommend, I don't think it's good for anyone, unfortunately, probably many of us have experienced, is something really dramatic or tragic happening, and it wakes us up, right? Boom! It gets us out of our everyday, and you have a chance to kind of sort through things. Now, the third way is what I want to talk to you about today, which is autosuggestion. So several people throughout the years have talked about autosuggestion. In fact, Napoleon Hill talks about this in his book, Think and Grow Rich. He talks about how important autosuggestion is. And literally, autosuggestion is auto-suggesting to yourself, kind of self-hypnosis. Now, you can't just tell yourself, like I said earlier, your conscious brain, I want to change, I want to make more money, I want to have that good relationship, I want to have that really good job, I want to be able to travel and be paid for it, right? Your subconscious is playing the record from the old beliefs. So how do you communicate your conscious information to your subconscious? One great way is in theta brainwave. Right now, and probably you and I are both in what is called alpha, or probably beta. There's high beta and low beta. That's pretty much every day, people moving around, they're in beta. Now you're a little more relaxed, maybe you're a little bit meditating, having massage. That's gonna be more like alpha brainwave. When you get under that, right before you're falling asleep, and it's kind of like a twilight time, they call it, that is when your brain actually shifts into theta. So your body's asleep, but your brain is still kind of aware, and that's theta, and that is gonna be the gateway to your subconscious and how you're gonna suggest to yourself, to your subconscious, how you wanna change. So the two most important times of the day for you to reprogram your subconscious into beliefs to help change your behavior, to change your habits, to get you to where you want to go, are going to be the moments right before you fall asleep. Now, you're not just going to think, oh man, I want that $1 million. Oh, I want that relationship. Good night. No, it has to, again, we talked about the subconscious being a feeling brain. You have to feel it, right? And this is where a lot of people go wrong. You have to embody, you have to get that version of yourself in your body. You have to feel it. What is it gonna feel like when you have the money? What will your house look like? What will your bed feel like? What will it feel like to walk in the door? If you want that dream car, what will it feel like when you're behind the wheel, when you're washing it at the car wash, right? When you're driving down the street, so happy that you have this thing, or you're in that relationship, you're cooking dinner with this person. Those are the things, the everyday things that you really have to get into to feel. So that's how you want to go to sleep. You want to go to sleep in that version of you right now. So literally your brain does not know the difference between a really vivid feeling experience in your brain and something that actually happened. So you vividly feel it and you embody it. You literally put that version of you, that experience in your body. It will actually form neurological pathways. There's tons of information on this, proving that your brain will form neurological pathways even though you haven't physically experienced these things. Basically, Joe Dispenza talks about this a lot, Dr. Joe Dispenza, that you're creating the software for you to actually go and do that because you actually, in one way, have already experienced it. So right before you go to sleep, you just get in that version of you, you embody it, you think about these experiences, you think about what it would feel like, what it would be like, what would you wear, what would it feel like on your skin, what color shoes would you be wearing, what would your outfits look like, what would the air smell like, what would the temperature be. As vivid as you can actually do this to get your body to feel those things, all the senses, so again, you can speak the language of the subconscious in the gateway of the theta wave. These 2 times of the day, right before you go to sleep and right when you're waking up, basically right before you know that you're awake, you're kind of in that a little bit drifty, like, oh, I'm awake, but I'm not really all there. It's easier to do it at night before you go to bed. It takes a little bit of effort to realize, oh yeah, I need to embody that. I need to have this work. I need to really focus on that. I've been doing this for the past 2.5 weeks, and it has really changed my energy. I feel like I'm closer to where I'm wanting to go. It feels like part of me is actually already doing that, and it's so much easier to step into that and so much less scary because part of you already feels like you're over there. And there is no over there. Over there is happening right now, and that's the difference. It threads you from here to there. You can have it now. You can start feeling it now. You can be that person and have that, and then ultimately you do it. A lot of people do, have, and then be. So that's my suggestion for you to start to just try this for yourself and see what you think right before you go to bed and right when you get up. Theta wave is going to be the gateway, and you're going to speak the language by feeling those emotions of whatever it is in your life that you're wanting to experience. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it. If you want to hear more videos and information that I'm going to be sharing, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.